Going to do some work to the Trans Am today. We're going to get the 73 Trans Am axle back into the Trans Am. We're going to get whatever's in there out and see if we can decode it. I'll probably just bring you the highlights of this video since we just did a rear end change video. I'm zipping this apart here. And I've decided to reuse these e-brake cables. They're a lot more original looking than these Napa jobs I put on this rear end. Looks like this wheel cylinder started to leak also. We got a bracket up there. I think that was originally to hold the hard brake line, but that was all relocated because this is not the original rear end. See, that line's all scarfed from rubbing. That block is either supposed to land here or here, if I'm not mistaken. This is the 72, and you can see how that line was originally fashioned. Looks to be CMG 2013. There's the casting number, and there's the date code. So it appears it had polyurethane isolators in it. I'd bought some energy suspension ones, and they look identical. These ones actually have a little metal ring in them, unlike what we put in the Firebird. Here's the rear end that was in it. Nice clean rear end, not all pitted up. PHG 80961. Here's a date code. Looks like it was made March 21st, 1978. He's holding that axle, and I'm able to turn this one. So this is most likely an open rear end. But since he's holding it, I'm going to spin this over twice, and we'll see what we get here. It's like 1, 2, and a little over half. So I believe this to be a 256 open rear end. That probably explains why we're able to do 100 miles an hour on the road trip home with no problems. It's going to be a lot funner to drive with this 342 Posi in it. I'd actually sourced a couple sites. This is off Wallace Racing, but what we just put in there was the CMG for Detroit Gear and Axle Posi column 342. We'd actually replaced that gear set with a new gear set and rebuilt that rear end quite some time ago. This is off the Hitman site. So ratio code, we got PH, 256 rear gear open. Bottom line is this is not the correct rear end for the car. And this rear end here isn't totally correct either, but it's much closer than the other one. We know that this was out of a 73 Trans Am. We got a new flexible line for the back, and it's a partial hex. It's like a curve on it. But that's exactly what that bracket is up there. So it should fit pretty good. Got it positively locked in there. It's going to fit on this rear end nice. I just bent some lines for the rear end. I went the low road so you can get the U-bolt out. I could have bought some pre-bent ones, but I want to get this project off the lift so we can move on to something else. I wasn't sure what direction this bracket went in. I actually have it the other way in my 72, but I think it goes this way. I'm pretty sure there's an assembly manual page somewhere, but I don't know where that's at. I did get the original brake line pretty close to back to how it's supposed to be. I think what happened is they moved it when they put that other rear end in so the brake line would reach, and then the exhaust is put in, then they utilized that spot to hook it up to. This yoke here has little tabs on it that center the U-joint, and this type here does not. So the second type takes a ring on the cap. Actually turns out I need a whole different U-joint. This one doesn't fit in that yoke of that differential. I went and got the correct U-joint for the car. It fits in that yoke and the differential real nice. And looks like it's going to fit in the drive shaft too. But you can see these caps are a little different sized. So I think what happened is this is an earlier drive shaft, and someone put a combination U-joint in here. So I'm going to go ahead and press this out, and then we'll take some measurements. Our new U-joint's in. Here's one we took out. Looks like about 1 inch 60 thousandths, and then 1/120. So this was a combination joint, and I'm thankful for that because the front U-joint and the back U-joint are supposed to be the same size in this drive shaft. And I was preparing to have a drive shaft made for this car, but this is in fact the right drive shaft. Well, if it isn't one thing, it's something else. Now the strap doesn't line up, so the straps are different also. I'll have to dig through my junk pile to find a pair of straps. Got the new strap kit. I don't think I ever mentioned it, but this rear end does have Moser street strip axles in it. It's back down on all fours. The rear end swap is complete. We're going to stick it in a corner and start working hard on that 442. But I am going to take out this brake booster, send it off to be rebuilt and plated, and take out this power steering box. See if we can get some numbers on it. Hopefully it's original, and get that rebuilt. You'll eventually see a video of that. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.